Hello there. My name is Tanner, and I'd like to welcome you back to my YouTube channel. Why, yes, as a matter of fact, I did give myself a haircut, so my hats are going to feel a little looser for a while. Though that's not saying much in this instance, because the hat I'm currently wearing is fairly loose anyway. At any rate, I'm of course going to be continuing my story of Eros and Psyche. However, if you haven't already seen the first three parts, I'd recommend watching them first before continuing. I'll put the link in the cards and in the description down below. So, without further ado, here is part 4 of my interpretation of the story of Eros and Psyche. Psyche found herself in a room with an enormous pile of seeds and grains in front of her. The first task, Psyche heard Aphrodite say, is to sort each and every single seed and grain in the big pile into its own smaller pile. If it's not sorted properly within an hour, you'll be sorry. Psyche started on her task. However, after a few minutes, she fell into despair. How in the world am I going to do this? She wondered aloud. She was just about to give up when she noticed a small colony of ants crawling on the floor. One of the ants looked up to her, and, to Psyche's utter astonishment, it spoke. "Do not despair, Psyche," the ant spoke in a tiny voice. "Athena sent us to help you sort this pile. Please don't tell Aphrodite about us." The ants swarmed on the pile of seeds and grain, and not long after, the original pile was gone, and in its place were 6 neatly sorted piles of various seeds and grains. Psyche had just enough time to whisper a thank you to both the ants and to Athena when Aphrodite barged into the room. "Is the deed done?" Aphrodite asked, before noticing the 6 piles on the floor. "How is this possible? Did someone help you? You know what? No matter. Come." Psyche then found herself on one side of a row of thorn bushes. On the other side, in the distance, she could see a flock of sheep. Strangely enough, Psyche thought for sure that the sheep were glittering in the sunlight. It was then that Aphrodite spoke to her. "Those sheep on the other side of those thorn bushes have golden wool. I want you to gather some of this wool from those sheep so that I can weave a blanket for my poor baby Eros. I will be back in an hour, and you'll be sorry if you haven't gathered enough." Psyche peered over the thorn bushes and tried coming up with a plan, though after a while she came up with nothing. It was then that she heard a voice floating on the wind. "Psyche," said the voice, "listen well." Psyche looked around to see the source of the voice, and she saw a small stream with a patch of rushes next to it. When the wind blew in the rushes again, Psyche heard the voice. "Don't be frightened, for Demeter herself asked us to advise you." "What must I do?" Psyche asked the rushes. "Listen, and listen well," they replied. "Do not be fooled by those sheep. They are very ferocious. If you were to go near them, they'd surely kill you and eat you. However, they use the bushes surrounding the hillside to scratch their backs whenever they have an itch, and some of their golden wool gets caught on the thorns. If you gather some of this wool from the thorns, you shall surely have enough to finish this task. Also, when Aphrodite comes back, do not tell her of our interference." Psyche followed the advice that the reeds gave her, and she lifted the hem of her skirt in order to make a makeshift basket for the wool. When Aphrodite came to see her, she filled that makeshift basket full of glittering wool. "How can this be?" Aphrodite exclaimed. "How have you succeeded in both tasks I gave you?" "You know what? No matter. On to the next task." Next thing she knew, Psyche found herself at the bottom of an enormous waterfall. "Where am I?" she wondered out loud. "This river is fed by a spring at the top of the waterfall, and eventually it feeds the river Styx," Aphrodite's voice said. "For your third task, I want you to climb the waterfall and get me a pail full of water from the spring. Don't you dare try to give me some from the bottom of the waterfall. I will be able to tell the difference. I'll be back for you soon." Psyche looked closely in the waterfall and tried to climb up it. It was an impossible task, however, as the water was freezing and the falls made the rocks dangerously slippery. How in the world am I going to climb all the way up there without getting hurt or worse? Psyche wondered. I believe I can help you with that, said a voice from above Psyche. She looked up in astonishment and saw a beautiful golden eagle perched on a low branch of a nearby tree. Do not worry, Psyche, the eagle told her. Hera told Zeus to send me to help you. If you give me your pail, I will get the water from the spring for you. Thank you so much, Psyche said in relief, and held out the pail for the eagle to take. He took it into his talons, and before she knew it, there was a pail full of spring water at her feet. When Aphrodite found Psyche in the bucket, she was beside herself with anger. All right, who was helping you? There is no way you could have gotten that water by yourself. You know what? Very well. I will give you one final task. And there we have it. That was part 4 of Eros and Psyche. What a cliffhanger, huh? If you like this video and you want more, please give this video a like and subscribe down below so you don't miss any new videos. Also, if there are any stories you want to hear in future videos, please leave your thoughts in the comments down below and it might just happen. Alright, well that's all the time I have for this video, so I'll see you all next week with Eros and Psyche Part 5, the finale. See you then.